Hello. Oop, left my halo on. Hello. So this year, I was unable to make time to travel to be with my own family on Thanksgiving Day. Today. Um, so I'm here with you. I have been in touch with my family. I'm not like I'm totally isolated today. Um, Flamingo, you're first. Congratulations and welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be cooking a Thanksgiving feast for just me, which means I'm not going to be cooking a full feast because I will have a million leftovers. And as much fun as leftovers are, leftovers from a full-size feast for just one person is a lot. So we're having a downsized Thanksgiving dinner for one. I have, there it is, an interesting cut of turkey that I was not super familiar with. We actually used it once before, so I am familiar with it now. But prior to that, I was not super familiar with it. We have an interesting cut of turkey that's good size for just me. We actually have some leftover sweet potato, but I got a fresh one too. So I think we're probably going to use the fresh one and make it nice. I'm not making stuffing. Instead, I'm making two kinds of potato. We're having four things on the plate. And then we'll brainstorm if I want to add in an extra thing. I don't have any cranberry. It occurred to me at the very last moment that I have no cranberry. But I do have frozen mixed blueberries and raspberries, so we could make a fruit thing. But I have sweet potato, and we are gonna have plain old russets, and I definitely want mashed potato. Which means we're gonna make this guy a different way. And I want to say roast, but possibly something else. You also skip stuffing. See, my mom makes excellent stuffing. So when I'm home, we have a big vat of stuffing, and it's beautiful. But as a result, I never really practiced making stuffing. So here we are. I thought about making a little tiny one, like a tiny little stuffing for one in a ramekin, which we still could, in theory, do. I have hot dog buns. We could hack together a tiny amount of stuffing in a ramekin for just one serving and then bake it. That's not unfeasible. We can have fun with this. We have enough leeway to have some fun with this today in between making basic staple things. I also am going to attempt to poach my turkey. Let's slide over to the countertop. I washed the peeler and I left it out because I know I'm going to need it. I had to bag this up because there was a leaky turkey on top of this turkey. So what we have here is one turkey breast tenderloin, which is around the same size as like a large chicken breast, which I thought was perfect. But breast meat is very easy to dry out, as everyone knows. Turkey breast is very dry because people always overcook it. I want to try poaching this because poaching is a good way to gently cook these kind of low-fat cuts without drying them out. It doesn't look super great, and that's kind of unavoidable because you're getting no browning because you're cooking it at a very gentle simmer. All that plastic is because the one on top of this one was leaking. and I had no way to really avoid it except to wrap it up. So we're going to wash our hands every time we touch this. And then I have broccoli in lieu of Brussels sprouts, because I like broccoli, and also I have broccoli. And that's kind of the plan. Sweet potato, turkey, regular potato. Ooh, look at that potato. Funny shaped regular potato. We could throw in a second little guy if we want a little bit more potato. And then the poaching liquid should be able to be reduced into a gravy, in theory. Yeah, I got a butt potato. It's going to be hard to peel that thing. We're probably going to have to split it and then peel it. I am peeling these. These are a bit of a dirty potato. And that's the easiest way to get the dirty part off, is just to peel them. And broccoli. So let's set these guys all to the side. Now, poaching. I hope everyone else is having a great Thanksgiving. Got a reference up here for poached chicken breast, which we want to start cold. So, a pot that will fit our thing without being overly wide. And I would like to get that in there right away so that I can throw all this stuff away, wash my hands one last time, and not have to think about it anymore. Oh. So the tender, if you've ever cooked with, I'm just going to leave that thing on there and trust that it will cook out. That's a little bit of connective stuff, and it should render out. If you've ever made a chicken breast, or had a whole chicken breast, you know that there's the large top muscle, and then there's a little small one underneath. Turkeys have that too. And in a turkey, this is the little small one underneath. It's the, because turkeys are massive. So it's the size of the whole chicken breast. So if you go to make turkey tenders, which we did, if you'll recall, I made turkey tenders out of these, actually, out of these tenderloins, sliced them up, and did that. This is what you're working with, so you want to cut it into bits. We have, for our poaching liquid, I got quite a bit, so we probably have more than I need. We want enough to cover the meat, but we don't want to completely swim this thing. So we're going to start with, one of these is turkey stock and one of these is turkey broth. And the difference, besides them being different brands, is that, God damn it, the ingredients on turkey broth. Number one, turkey broth. That's cheating. The turkey stock one has some vegetables in it, basically. That's the difference. But in theory, it should be 2 cups. Wow, and we have just exactly 2 cups in there. 2 cups of liquid per chicken breast. And again, this guy's actually a little bit bigger than a chicken breast. Oh, but that immerses it perfectly. Well, that's delightful. Then I don't have to crack open the other one. We can save that one in its sealed state so it'll keep longer. Is this low sodium? No, it is high sodium. High sodium chicken. Sorry, turkey, not chicken. Although there is chicken in it. They cheated and made it a chicken turkey blend. But you want quite a lot of salt in this because it's going to infuse into the meat as it cooks. So we are in fact going to, despite it being, wow, you can really see the reflection. There's my camera right there. Hi, camera. You can really see the reflection in there. So in spite, I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to eyeball it. In spite of this already being quite salty, we're going to salt it a bit more. Maybe not tons more, but give it a little oomph. And then for poaching, you take this guy, you slide him over to the, oops, you slide him over here, you put him on a gentle heat. And we also get our thermometer ready because we're going to have to test it. We want to make sure, we really don't want to overshoot. We would rather undershoot and then bring it up than overshoot and have it be overcooked. So we're going to temperature test it along the way. Isosceles, you're not first. Congratulations. No one can take that away from you today. So while that's getting started, I've actually got it on medium heat. We're actually shooting for 150 internal, followed by our resting time. For poultry, maybe a little bit of a risk, but I'm willing to take that risk for succulent, delicious meat. In the meantime, we're going to come back over yonder. And just start prepping and peeling veggies. And thinking about and brainstorming if I wanted anything additional. At the moment, I've got 2 starches, a vegetable, and a protein. And then gravy. So how's your Thanksgiving going, isosceles? Happy Thanksgiving to all. Look at that. Oop. We'll bring that back. I feel like I want this to be chunky cubes. Just That's the vibe I think I want from my sweet potato. You take one of these and you go like cube. Like so. Sort of big irregular chunks. Oop. As long as we're peeling, we should peel our potato, regular potato, straight away as well. We will split this one right up its butt crack, because otherwise it's going to be impossible to peel in there. So it was snowing all day. That was a surprise. There was no snow in the forecast at all. But it's been snowing all day and accumulating. So we have a winter wonderland all of a sudden out of nowhere. Which I'm not massively thrilled about. I'm going to rinse these guys off because those were a little bit dirtier than the sweet. I'm not massively thrilled about there being a winter wonderland out there because I'm going to have to drive in it tomorrow morning. So hopefully they have it cleared off before I need to get out there. But that was a surprise. And we also got a special weather statement that was, there's unusual, unexpected snow in your area. Great. I only got that special weather statement about 10 hours after it started. But at least they said something. when cutting your potatoes, and really anything along these lines, try to cut things so that they're all the same size. Well, approximately the same size. My turkey is doing things. If we slide over, it has contracted, so the middle has bulged up and is peeking out. And I'm supposed to watch for it to start to bubble, which we are doing around the edges of where the actual turkey is. And that's the sign to flip it over. So that the top part can get cooked as well. Instant read thermometer. As soon as the surface of the water starts to boil, flip it over, remove it from heat, cover with a tight-fitting lid. I may have jumped the gun. It's not really a rolling boil, it is a gentle bubble. Let's give it just a little bit more. Oh no. No. It's doing the thing. Okay. No. I shouldn't be manipulating it this much with the tongs. Okay, we are flipped over, removed from heat, powered off. I do want to try to get some browning on the top, so we're going to come back to it. But now it has to sit in the liquid until it reads an internal temperature of 150, which is, like I said, low. And I'm just going to trust it. In the meantime, we're getting out another pot. Back over yonder. We're going to throw in all of our white potato. Cover that with cold water. In this case, it's irrelevant how much water. Just has to be enough to fully cover everybody. And then we slap that over here on the heat. And you're making mashed potatoes. We're just making plain old basic mashed potatoes. We should salt that water. Ooh, onions, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm going to start preheating the oven to 450. I'm going to grab an onion. We're going to slide back over here again with these guys. I'm going to grab a large onion. Well, a large-ish red onion. One of these people has thrown chopped onion in with their sweet potatoes before roasting, creating roasted onion chunks, which I think sounds very good. And we do need to pizzazz these guys a little bit. And then they can go in there. I actually need a larger bowl now. But that's fine. But that's fine. We can throw some flavors in with that. And we will get that roasty toasty. But we need a larger, slightly larger bowl because I want to do a tossy toss with them. Decent amount of olive oil. And then we just, you know, toss this until everybody's shiny. Throw on some thyme. Just shaking it sometimes. Some thyme, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and some salt. Oops. Shake me around, call him a day. Uncle Stinky, hi. Hi from Wisconsin. Welcome, welcome. Selena, happy Thanksgiving. It's Thursday here, but happy Friday to you. I see you. I see you. You're not first. Congratulations on being not first. Do I have any parchment? I do, parchment. Hi, Selena. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to all. We are currently working on our sweet potatoes, which are turning into a roast sweet potato. And I have thrown onto them chopped red onion, salt, pepper, thyme, garlic powder, and olive oil to sort of lubricate. And no, we're not balsamic vinegar. No, balsamic is not the right flavor here. I like balsamic, but not here. We are in the process of poaching a turkey tender over here in that pot. It needs the lid on for a time. And this guy is our mashed potatoes getting started. They're currently just potatoes and water and some salt. And our oven is preheating. And then we will think about, we have room to think. I have 2 starches, a protein, and a vegetable. We're doing broccoli. But we have room to think about adding a sweet We're going to make gravy, hopefully, out of the poaching liquid. But welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. How's everyone's Thanksgiving going? Or how's everyone's today going if you're not celebrating American Thanksgiving? I know the Canadians did theirs already. And other countries also may or may not be doing theirs at whatever time they feel like. That, once the oven is hot, is going to be roasted. My oily herb coating is very tasty. I lick my fingers. Pardon me, I'm gonna lick all my fingers and then wash my hands. Boy, garlic and olive oil and a little bit of salt is a fabulous combination. Okay, that, and I feel like I want to add a dusting of smoked paprika. And perhaps just a little bit of an extra sprinkle of salt. And then that is going to set on the side until the oven is hot. Should have been preheating the oven from the start. Didn't. My fault. We have miles to go. Well, we actually don't have that many miles to go. I was thinking about what I was making. It didn't seem like it was going to take terribly long, so I didn't want to start super early. Because I was shooting for like a normal dinner time. Get our workspace cleaned up a little bit. With our oven already hot, what if we did a little berry crumble for a dessert? Sugar, starch, lemon juice, zest. What if we did, I've been thinking, I've got these, which say that they're raspberries, but if you look on the inside, Shining Spear, you're not first. Congratulations. If you look inside there, it's actually a mix of frozen together berries. Because I had a different bag that I just poured into here, and it was, I'm pretty sure, blueberries. So now we have a combo, and I want to get this out of the fridge, so we probably should use this today. How big is that? I think we could do that as a little crumble. And then a, what's it called? What should we call it? Topping. The simple crumble topping. Streusel? Strudel. Streusel. Streusel. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. In that case, this part needs to be sort of cooked together. We can use the burner that the potatoes are on right now. Things are going quick. Things are going quicker than I was initially expecting. Okay, I want to get that stuff out of there and into a pan because it needs to be thawed. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to eyeball this. I've got a recipe up, but I think I'm just going to wing it. Ugh. You know, about that much. And I guess nothing else? Yeah. Let's slide this guy over. I'm going to use the other front burner. Thanks. Is it really Thanksgiving if you don't have something going on every conceivable cooking surface? We don't need the tongs here. We should check on our meat to make sure we're not in the woods on that. Pale. You cannot quite see it where I put it there. Pale and not quite at the target temperature, but not too far off the target temperature. I'm going to give it a flip back the other way. And let it rest in the juices a little bit longer. The potatoes. We shall fish one out. And the way you test a potato for doneness is you taste it. What you do is you fish out the biggest chunk you can see, and then you make sure to bite through the middle to see how tender it is. If there's any crunchiness to it, it needs to be in there longer. This one was nice and tender, so heat off. Let's get it strained real quick. And then they're going to have to cool off enough for me to handle because we're going to go with the ricer again, so they're going to sit on the side until I'm ready for them. This little guy should have been in the other pot because that lid doesn't fit. You guys are in the wrong space. This lid does not fit on this pot. And that's annoying because that would thaw better if I could lid it in. I should have picked the other pot, which is also just a small pot, but it's the one that lid fits. That's annoying. Oh well. This is the correct move, because the steam coming off of it will help it thaw and help it do so without drying out so much, because we really don't want it to cook down. We want it to thaw fully. That's the goal there. Let's see, the olive oil doesn't need to be out right now. Is that burner still hot? Yes. I'm going to put the chicken or the turkey here and have it pick up a little bit of extra residual heat. The front burner is not on, but I want to bring the temperature of the turkey up just a little bit, just a smidgen. Okay, what else we got? Potato, meat. Broccoli doesn't take very long. My oven just clicked. So we'll put in our roast veggies. How long? That one says 30 minutes. Turning frequently. Well, we'll check them every so often and turn them. Those potatoes dry out a little bit. The turkey is picking up a little bit of extra heat. The broccoli does not take very long when I get that far, so I don't want to do that one until I'm ready to start assembling. We have at least 30 minutes. We're going to be tending to our dessert, I guess, in the meantime. We also want to get some browning on the turkey, because if you've never seen what poached meat looks like, it's tasty, but it really looks not very good. It really tends to take on a very awful paleness. Oh, we also need to make gravy out of that liquid. We could do a curry gravy. And then we just reduce it. I'm just trying to get a proportion. I always have a bad habit of over thickening, and I'd rather undershoot and have to bring it up. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this isn't a recipe. Ugh. I hate this. Quarter cup to 2 cups. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know why that was so hard to find. I don't make gravy very often. Ooh, our that guy is doing the thing. Kinda. Okay, lid back on. That needs more time to just kind of break apart. We're going to attempt to thicken that, and then we're going to see how well it fits into the ramekins. Bake it. We need a streusel topping. Which is made out of butter, sugar, flour. Sugar, salt, clumpy, melted butter, wet sand texture. Gotcha. That's pretty straightforward stuff. I could do that. I could do that. Even I could accomplish that. We don't need nearly that much of this stuff. Okay, 1 tubby spoon of butter. In a small container. I feel like I can just give this some residual heat from the stovetop and it should melt that butter without me having to go to the microwave. Otherwise, it's just sugar and, yeah. Otherwise, it's just sugar and flour. And a tiny bit of salt. So we need the flour tower, which we're going to need as well for gravy. We're going to have a lot of gravy. We're going to have a lot of extra gravy, which is fine, Let's, while I'm thinking of it, probe test our turkey again. We have hit the target and overshot it actually a little bit of 150. So we will fully remove it from heat. Go back to my how to poach guide. The only one I'm not 100% on. Let it rest on the cutting board before slicing into slices. But I want to brown the top, for which we're using the magic pot. I will bring the whole pot over. Okay, magic pot. The broiling rack set to upside down so that it is near the broiler. Grab this guy and we put him right there. We're going to need the juice. And he's already salty. All right, I'm a little bit winging it, so I'm stopping to think just a little bit. just a touch of our garlic and onion topping powders. And I want smoked paprika. And just a little bit of black pepper. Okay. Now that should have been lightly oiled. Should have been lightly oiled. Saizan, hi. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the moisten. Moist. Which hopefully is what this is going to give us. Moist. And I am just going to give it the quickest blast on the broil. Two minutes. We don't want to dry it out. It's already cooked. We don't want to dry it out. Meanwhile, that's my face. That's the wrong button. Hi. Meanwhile, we're over here with our pot holder. This stuff has changed. All of our bits are thawed and juicy. Thawed and juicy. That one. We need some sugar. Well, we all know, depending on who you ask, war either never changes or has changed. Okay, let's get that sugar mixed in. Thawed and juicy. Delightful. Horrifying. We don't have any lemon zest to put in there. That was 2 minutes on the broiler. I'm going to take a peek at it. We really should have oiled the top of that guy. I'm going to give it 1 additional minute. I don't want to go too far. We're going to make it dry, and which is the whole point of poaching, was to make it not dry. Sugar, cornstarch. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit before I put the cornstarch in. We're not making a crumble topping. We're making a streusel topping because it's easier. Cayenne pepper. I disagree. But every dessert needs some salt. Otherwise, you won't taste it. So a little bit of salt. Yeah, I think that's all that wants. I think that's all that wants. Let's stir it in again real quick. Oh, we should have so many things. Like a true Thanksgiving dinner, I have so many things going on that I'm losing them. We need to grab the other pot holder for a two-hand deal. Retrieve these guys so they can be tossed around a little bit. Our onions have shrunk, just giving our sweet potatoes a little bit more room to maneuver, which is good and fine and good. But that needs to go back into yon oven. Our butter failed to fully melt, so I'm going to give it 2 seconds in the microwave, by which I mean I'm going to give it 5 seconds in the microwave. It shouldn't need hardly anything. Oh. Five seconds was 1 second too long. This is our future gravy-in-law. I need tiny whisk. Tiny whisk. There, melted butter-ish. Jay! Jay, you subscribed. Oh my God. Oh my God, I don't even have the panel open. Oh my God. 9 months. Why? What have I done to deserve such harsh, unforgiving treatment? Happy Thanksgiving, Jay. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, that stuff's going to need to thicken. I want it to cool off so that I can put the cornstarch directly in there and have the liquid that's already in there hydrate my cornstarch. But if it's hot, it'll just clump. Let's take another peek at our turkey. Well, I don't want to have that go any longer or we're going to ruin it. So it's just going to sit there and be warm in the Magic Pot until I'm ready to slice it, which will help keep it from cooling off in the meantime. Actually, since the Magic Pot is now warm, it would be a decent staging area for things as they become done. They can just go in there. This needs to cool off a little bit, so it's going to go back over here, and instead we're going to deal with the potato. We might have to, yeah, we're going to have to rewarm that just a tiny bit. Are you warm? You're still warm. I'm just going to leave that on a warm burner. To gently keep itself from re-solidifying. You've seen me do it many times before. I love it. We're ricing some tater. Oh, we need more butter too. Are you cooled off yet? They are. The butter's not going to melt. I waited a little bit too long from being distractioned. The ricer is one of my favorite things, and it took me a while to find a good one. You'll remember I had a bad one, which I still have, that was all bent out of shape. And then like 2 weeks after I bought that one, I found this one, and this one's the perfectest thing I've ever riced with. It's great though. It does things that I could not do without it. Like it does one thing, but it does that one thing really well, and it's something I could not accomplish without it. So big recommend on a ricer. Doesn't really work for fibrous things. We've tried doing turnips and beets in it, and they have too much internal fibers, and it doesn't really rice. Yeah. Now the thing that it does is very specific, but damn, it's just impossible to do without it. And that thing is the thing we just saw it do. Turn potatoes into potato rice. Okay, that pot can get retired. Our little butter over here has re-melted. So I will take that off of the warm burner. This should have been a little bit warmer than we have it because I need to melt some butter into it, and we actually have some heavy cream. We could make this like the creamy kind. So maybe we don't need the butter because I just have some heavy cream on hand. So let's mix the heavy cream in with a pinch of salt. Don't overwork. I think we need tiny bit of water. It's a little dry. I let them stand a little bit too long, but they'll pick up the water and become smooth again. Oh yeah, they're not warm. That's the biggest issue. I let them sit there so they're room temp. But let's if they were warm, they'd be really good. But I've already outlined my plan for that. This entire bowl is going in the Magic Pot, which is just got some residual warm because I was just running it. And that will keep them warm. And not dried out because it's got a seal on the inside. Aw, that bowl doesn't fit underneath the cage. Shoot. Well, they're going in there to be warm. I have been meaning to try practicing patty-style hash browns because I like them. I like them way better than the shredded kind of hash browns. And I would like to be able to turn a potato into one of those at home. because potatoes are cheaper. Okay, back on the dessert. Not hot. And this should only need a little bit of cornstarch beaten into it. Medium small whisked into it. Give that stuff a taste. Mmm. Mmm. Cornstarch. And it's just about right for one ramekin's worth. I should have poured that the other way. So how's everyone's Thanksgiving going? Everyone who arrived since I last asked that. Or just your generic Thursday if you're not celebrating the American way. I'm having a pretty good day. I was kind of caught off guard by the amount of snow that we got. That was not my favorite. You're sick? Oh no. Well, if I may be so bold, stop it. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? I'm putting in a dab of molasses to pretend that I have brown sugar. Gah, rude. A little bit of salt. We'll mix this together into a sweet butter slurry. And then we will add flour to it until we achieve that wet sand texture. Or something. Well, get well soon. That's an order. Don't overmix or the streusel will become like a paste. Okay. Well, I made a paste. wonder if I just commit and make a weird like little pie out of this, if that would even work. It's like Play-Doh. I'm just trying to get it to sort of, yeah, yeah. Problem was I added the flour much too slowly. You want to throw it in so that it gets so that it lumps. You want lumps. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. And then we just kind of cover the top with that. Lots of it. All of it, in fact. Pick up all these little crumblies and throw them on there. Tempted to also just give it like a little extra duster of plain flour and plain sugar. It's a dessert. You can't put too much sugar in a dessert. You definitely can put too much sugar in a dessert. I've done it. That is 100% a thing. But this one should be fine. Okay, let's take a peek at our, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Let's take a peek at our roasties. How are they coming? How are they coming? They're looking pretty good. We could probably give them a rough toss like that. We want to check one of the big ones to see how the middles are coming. The onions look good. Let's test out this one. Cut down the middle. They're done. They're hot. Damn, that's hot. We need the oven to be less hot. Oh, and this needs to go on something so that I can pick it up. Okay, little guy. One little dessert going in the oven. Tasty. Hot. We're making gravy. Gravy next. That needs to get. Why did I put the potholders away? I'm going to need them for at least 2 more things. Which one of you made me put the potholders away? All right. Okay. 3 tablespoons of butter on the heat, melting. 3 tablespoons of flour. Once that's getting melty, you're 1.5, right? Yeah, perfect. We'll use the 1.5 scoop. Clear stuff out a little bit. Oh boy, oh boy. Streusel. That tastes good. Tastes like sugar butter. Hard to go wrong with sugar butter. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need this. We do. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm on the wrong tab. I can't even see it. Cybex. Cybex. Welcome, welcome Raiders. Come on in. Get in here. Happy Thanksgiving. Pile on in. We're doing stuff. I've got so many things on the go. But they're actually coming together, so you're going to get to see some of our finished results. We have roast sweet potatoes and onions. Cybex, hi. What were you doing? Tell us all about it. Welcome in Raiders. I always forget to introduce myself. Jovial Jovian, that's me. You can call me Jovial. You can call me Jovian. You could call me Jojo, but it won't pop up on my thing, so that might not be the best choice. I've thought about making that official. Oh, you were cooking. Well, happy Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? We're in the process of I'm making just a plate for me because I'm all by myself this year. Couldn't get away. We're currently melting some butter on much too high a heat to start making gravy. That's roasted sweet potatoes and onions. We've just put in our dessert into the oven. It's a berry crumble mini pie ramekin thing. I went with poached turkey, which has rested and needs to not dry out, or I will have ruined all of my efforts in poaching. And we have some mashed potatoes, which have not warmed themselves back up. They got a little bit cooled off because I let them stand too long. I'm actually going to put the mashed potatoes in the microwave real quick, bring their temperature up because I don't want cold mashed potatoes. And that guy can go back into the pot over here just to protect it from the elements. Oh my God, so many of you. Hello, hello, hello. Scroll back up. Who do we have? We have Dr. Mac Daddy, Kristen, JJ, Wolf Girl, Cybex, Puzzling Rami, Mel Say What, Miss Epsy. Welcome, welcome. My butter is melted. I can't get too distracted. Cooking does not stop and wait. Just because I get distracted. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. we're in time for the exciting bits, where I get flustered because there's too many things going on. So I don't have any drippings because I didn't do a roast piece of turkey, but I poached it. So I have poaching liquid, and I used turkey stock as my poaching liquid. So we're turning that poaching liquid, which is over here, into our gravy. We're not spilling it, which I literally just did, but we're going to limit spillage. Okay, and then it's actually slightly thin now, but we'll give it a flavor. Bookwoman, hello, hello. Things are coming along. I didn't look at the time for poaching quite right, and I did that first, and now the thing has been resting for way longer than it needed to, which has me a little bit worried that it will be dried out. Despite my best efforts. But we're gravying here. We're baking there. The plate. Oh, I know. We don't use the wide ones very often. This plate. This is the plate we're using. I'm going to start putting things... Are you hot? You are still just a wee bit on the hot side. We're going to start putting things on the plates to clear up a little bit of space. Oh my God, I'm not used to having so many people. Welcome, welcome. Fireball Whiskey Seasoning Turkey Breast. I read all those names. I didn't read what anyone said other than Happy Thanksgiving. Cybex was cooking. Cottage pie. Sounds good, sounds good. Fireball Whiskey Turkey Breast. Roast chicken from Dr. Mac Daddy. Oh, and thank you for the follow as well. I have no follow alerts, so I have to manually look over and thank people. How's that gravy coming? You guys are keeping an eye on that gravy for me, right? Okay. That guy out of the way. How's that gravy coming? The gravy's getting a little bubbly. We also need to taste the gravy to make sure it's not real plain, boring, bad gravy. Good texture. Tastes a lot like turkey. It's actually pretty good. Do I want to amp it up at all? I don't think it needs any MSG. We could... Doesn't need any salt. It probably needs a little bit more pepper and a little bit less heat. I don't think it's... We already added some pepper. But yeah, I think it needs a little bit more. By a little bit more, I mean quite a bit more. Or are you talking amongst yourselves? Cajun dry rub. It's not bad. It would be better if I had some proper drippings, but since we just used a breast segment, we don't. So I'm gonna just have to make do, and I'm gonna plunk a lid on it so it doesn't dry out while we do other things. The potato. That's in there. Where did I put those potatoes? That's our dessert thing. I picked up the mashed potatoes and put them somewhere. I put them in the microwave. That's why I don't remember where they are. Because I put them in the microwave to warm them up just a little bit because we got to them too early. I don't have any bacon right now, no. Unfortunately, no. There's no bacon available. I thought about that. I did think about that. But you were right. It needed more pepper. It needed a little bit of a pep. And I am making. It might be Thanksgiving for one here, but it's going to be a full plate. Which also we need to do our broccoli. The time has not that pan. The one below. Yeah, gotcha. The time for broccoli has come. I would love to keep my plate in the warm oven, but the warm oven is currently a hot oven and would just destroy all my food. How's our little guy coming? Oh, no, we need to do the broccoli and then I can check on the little guy. I'm getting flustered. We always do this. This is how I work. I get completely out of hand and lose track of what I'm doing, and then it makes delicious food at the end. One of you, specifically Sizan, once asked me about this style of broccoli that I'm about to make. So, pay attention. One of these florets had a little bit of that one, spot on it. That one does too. So I'm going to avoid the one with the spot on it. The rest of them all look good. We're not using the core bit for today. We're just using the florets. We need to oil them. Exactly the same way we did before, but you got to work a little bit faster because the florets want to pick up the oil in between all the little flowers. But don't be tempted to add a ton of extra oil. We can actually add a little bit of extra oil to our pan. Directly to make sure that they don't stick too badly, but we don't want them swimming. They go in, we put this here. Actually, we shoot them with some salt. Then we put the lid on and hit it with the heat. And then the trick is you don't touch them. Put what? I was going to check on our little cobblery thing, which is looking like a little cobblery thing. Our top crust is hardish to the touch. So I'm going to take our oven completely off. Open the door. Gotta focus on cooking. Have a good Thanksgiving, Doctor. We appreciate you being here. I'm going to put my plate in the oven with the door open, just to pick up some of that residual heat and keep it warm. Our little cobblery thing. Okay. While our broccoli's getting started, we're going to slide back over here. We're going to grab our turkey breast, which is warm. We're going to grab our long slicer, and we're going to do one of these with it. And we should have just the faintest blush. No, I definitely overshot it. So we don't have the faintest blush. Our thing is cooked right through to the middle. Hopefully it's not mega dried out. Back over on the stove, our broccoli, if you can see through the lid a little bit, it's capturing the steam, it's steaming the tops, but since we're not moving it around, the bottoms are getting blackened. And we don't really want to stir it around because we want to encourage one side to get like a good sort of blackened char on it, the other side to get steamy and cooked. And we want it to be tender cooked. We don't want it to go to mush. You want it to be, you don't want it to be crunchy raw. You want it to give like a tender crisp to it. Let me grab one. See how our blackened side is coming. It's not coming quite yet, so they can just sit there. We want the bottom side to just turn black, just a little tiny bit. Not burnt, just a little bit of that sort of, give it an edge. Are you hot? You are. Okay. In the meantime, coming back over here with our plate. Now, I wanted to kind of nestle the turkey over the top, but I guess I'm going to do it this way, and then we can have the broccoli fill in that remaining wedge. And this guy can go back in the oven real quick, just to keep warm. This is the result of my little dessert thing. We'll see how it turns out. The goo bubbled up around the edges, but the top is, you know, not pasty anymore. It's crusty, so that's pretty much all I can ask for. I'm getting hungry. I had a very, very light lunch, as you do on Thanksgiving, so that you can feast. Let's take another peek at these guys. Oh yeah. There's the blackened bits I was talking about. So take the heat off. It is a mixture of raspberries and blueberries because I had frozen raspberries and blueberries with a little bit of lemon juice. Where's my sesame oil? Okay, the heat's off. We're gonna add some sesame, add some, where are you? There you are. Add some, putting it back in the bowl, because that burner is still a little bit on the hot side. We slide on over here. I'm going to add a little bit of chipotle. I know I already salted it, adding a tiny bit more salt, some black pepper, and I think I might have burnt the sesame oil just a teensy bit, so we're going to give a extra little dab of that, and we're going to give it a toss, just like at the start, to get those flavors on it. And that is my quick, easy, favorite way to do broccoli. I did it by accident one day when I was making broccoli and forgot to toss them around. And it was great. So now I just do that on purpose. And if we push you back a little bit, we can get the broccolis right in the empty spot. Perfect. There's just a tiny bit of everything left. There's just a teensy tiny bit of everything left. I'm going to snuggle in another piece of turkey. And that is essentially our plate, except, of course, for the gravy. Which needs to go on the mashed potatoes for sure. And then I like to put a strip of it over my turkey. And we're going to put a little bit of it on our potatoes and on our broccolis. Gravy your whole plate. We have a lot of gravy. I'll have to come up with things to do with gravy. That there, tiny bit there, tiny bit there, tiny bit there. Black pepper can never go wrong. And that is my Thanksgiving plate for one, with just a little bit of everything left over on the side for a small second helping. I got about half that much of that, half that much of that, half that much of that. Yeah. Yeah, just, we could have just one little small helping. And, oh, this guy's still a little bit too hot. And our dessert. And a dessert. Let me go, take the stuff off of my camera station, grab a photo, and we'll come back and we'll eat. I don't think I'm going to sit and eat the entire Thanksgiving dinner with you. If you want me to, I guess I can. Otherwise, I'll tell you about the things. I'm most curious about the turkey. I've never done a poached turkey before, and I am hoping that even though it ended up resting too long, it will have not dried out on the inside the way turkey has a tendency to do. Okay, coming back, coming back. Where'd I put my fork? Fork. Coming back, coming back. Okay, here we are, back. Back again. Well, as I said, the thing I'm most curious about is the turkey, and I want to try one of these center pieces. Nope, there's the top of my head. There's a slight delay, so I get to see myself lean over. The turkey is definitely slightly over. But even with it being slightly over, it's not dry. So I would say that the poaching has worked. The seasoning on the top, I didn't get any sort of browning. Hi, Mod Pro. Welcome in. You're just in time for the tasting and munching. Thanksgiving for one. So poaching worked. The issue always with poaching is, of course, that the meat looks very, very pale at the end. But it did work. It's not dried out. It's just, I think if I'd timed it better and done it at the end, because it even says in my guide here, of course it says it afterwards, it says it, it's got all these instructions, and then at the bottom, it should take a total of 10 to 20 minutes at the bottom, at the end. I didn't read all the way through. I'm like, okay, well, that means it's going to sit around for a while I do other things. So it definitely over-rested and should have done it right at the end, probably. But it's not dried out. It's just a little bit... it's not as juicy, I think. It had too much time a little bit too much time to rest and sort of reset. You want a little bit of the juices to kind of spill out. Yeah, I actually did something here for Canadian Thanksgiving as well. What did I make? Oh, I made Thanksgiving poutine. I used Thanksgiving things, so turkey and it was turkey gravy, turkey. I sort of did a hybrid. This is much more traditional. I'm very experimental. This is much more traditional, just because I love Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I want to do something like real good for it. I've already tasted the sweet potatoes. They're very good. Just a simple roasted sweet potato with roasted red onion. And the onions get that sweet savoriness because you cook them until they're like almost falling apart. I wasn't going to add the onions, and then it was in one of these pictures, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So we did, and it was, of course, a great idea. Roast onions are delicious. Our potatoes, our regular potatoes, now if I wanted to be really fancy with them, I should have added a lot more liquid. And you make them the French way where they're almost like pourable. But since I went with heavy cream, they're very rich. They don't need any butter. They have that buttery fattiness to them. They actually need more gravy because they're they're rich, but they're not terribly flavorful, which I think is great for a mashed potato because you want to dump a gravy on it because you don't want it to be carrying the flavor. The gravy, I'm not going to lie, is not the best gravy. It does kind of taste like store-bought gravy. We got a good, we got a decent texture on it. Decent consistency. But without real drippings to work with, it's really hard to amp it up. We probably could have put in like a chicken stock cube just to like give it a boost, but I don't think the gravy needs to be a huge standout because you're putting it on everything. You don't want it to be overwhelming. You want it to be complementary. So I think a light gravy can work. And of course, our roasted broccolis, which, hot damn, I love doing broccoli this way. It's so easy. Blackened broccoli is just the easiest, and it's still got its texture. It's not mushy at all. You get these lovely charred bits that give you a very roasty flavor. And the floret at the top picks up the flavors from the olive oil and the sesame oil. Favorite broccoli. I'm going to kill this broccoli tonight. We're going to absolutely polish that off. Even if anything else is left over, that's not going to be. So it is a lot of fairly normal things for me, but boy, these are tasty. I do want some more gravy for those potatoes. They want lots of gravy. Get gravied. There you go. Just swimming, just absolutely swimming. There goes top of my head again. Yeah, we should taste this guy before I go as well, because this one was pure, I don't know what I'm doing, let's throw some stuff together. Well, the topping holds. The inside is kind of soupy. Very hot. It's got a little bit of a crisp on the top, and the inside is very much kind of like has a soupiness to it. We probably could have put in another thickener to try to pull that together. Some tapioca flour. Some tapioca flour would have probably pulled that together, given it a little bit more bounce. As it is, it's not really a pie or a tart. You can't get a slice out of it. Honestly, you're going to have to eat that with a spoon, which I don't hate. It's mighty tasty. It tastes a lot like strawberries, raspberries and blueberries with a little bit of lemon, which is 100% what the flavors in it are. I like the crisp top though. It's not a very good streusel topping, and honestly, there probably should have been more of the topping to ensure that when it tried to leak up the sides, there'd be more topping to sort of contain it. But it's good. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But as a last second, I don't have a dessert planned, I'm midway through cooking dinner, what can I make for dessert? It's pretty good. I'd be willing to serve that to people and not be embarrassed that I forgot dessert. So yeah, I can hang out and chit chat with you guys if you want. Otherwise, I have a dinner to eat. Dunk the turkey in my gravy. It's okay that the turkey's a little bit less juicy than I thought it was going to be, because we have all this extra gravy. We can just drown it. But the flavor on the turkey is quite good. That's the benefit of poaching. I almost did a sous vide. If by next Thanksgiving I have enough budget for some real stupid nonsense, which may or may not happen, I had a really stupid idea in the lead up to Thanksgiving to sous vide an entire turkey, which just sounds like a nightmare. Just absolute nightmare. It would take, I didn't do the math, but I think it would take 3 full days of cooking. My God, my God. That's maybe too ambitious. I've done some ambitious things around here. That one might just break me. Anyways, yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna close this up so I can have my Thanksgiving dinner. Sit down and have my Thanksgiving dinner. There's no chair in here. Although there could be, yeah. But I think I'm going to rate us along and see what else is on. See whomst else might be on. We could check the cooking channels. I'm sure there's a lot of Thanksgivings going on in the cooking category. And in the me category, we have ooh. Oh, and he's just starting. Perfect. We are going to go on along to Chef Jay Tay. We've been there a couple times. He's just getting started. His title says he's making duck roulade, caramel apple crumble, and sides. Duck roulade sounds amazing. And I almost did duck instead of turkey. I even went so far as to purchase one of these little duck breasts and then found the turkey tenderloin that we used, because I didn't want to do a whole turkey breast. Those are huge. But yes, let's go over there and say hi. That duck roulade sounds amazing. So I am very interested to see how that turns out. And yeah, he's only 15 minutes in, so we're going to get basically the whole journey here, which is very exciting. Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you all for showing up. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks to Cybex for the raid. Am I following you, Cybex? No, I wasn't. How rude of me. Thanks to Cybex for the raid. Thanks, Raiders, for coming in. Thanks for sticking around. That was exciting. I looked over and there was a storm going through my my chat. Thank you for the multiple follows. Thanks to Jay for the sub. And yeah, I will be back. I don't know when I'm going to be back, actually. I can't give it to you this time because I don't know. I got part-time work right now, and I don't know when it's going to shuffle in. So I'll see you when I see you. Happy Thanksgiving.